All right, it is Tuesday, June 6, 2023 at 7:06 PM. And I'd like to call the Village of North Hudson Regular Board of Trustees meeting to order. I have a short invocation. Lord, we pray for the men and women and their families who are making sacrifices to protect our freedom. Thank you for their willingness to stand in harm's way against the evils in the world. Roll call, please.
Keller,
Here.
McGurran,
Here.
Merrill,
Here.
Nelson,
Here.
Height,
Here.
President Wecken,
Here.
Trustee Zeiss.
Here.
Thank you. Item 3 is comments from the floor. This is an opportunity for the Village of North Hudson residents.
2.
What? 2? Oh, Christ. Excuse me. Starting late, I'm confused already. Review and approve minutes from a regular board meeting from May 2nd and special board meeting from May 11th. Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thanks, Dusty. Is there any comments, questions, corrections, or amendments? Hearing none. All in favor of the minutes as presented, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Now we'll move on to item 3. Comments from the floor is the opportunity for Village of North Hudson residents, property owners, or business owners to make the board aware of topics, issues, opportunities either on or not on today's agenda. Is there anybody in the audience that would like to make a comment? Please, when you come up, state your name and your address, please.
Good evening, my name is Susie Gilbert, I live at 712 Riverside Drive, Moore. A couple of things for you. First of all, I want to thank you for funding the USGS gauge. There was a $600 request. There are other municipalities and agencies that also help to fund that. So when we had the spring flood, we were lucky on Lake Malibu that we didn't have it, but being able to monitor that USGS gauge and also have information on the St. Croix River, whether the water was going to come over the dam or not. There was one day in particular where there was, the USGS gauge told us that there were 2,200 cubic square feet per second coming from the Willow. It's important information to have in the spring, and so again, we really appreciate your support for that. Secondly, there's a resolution on your agenda this evening for Lake Malibu. We've been fortunate enough, with the help of our representative, to have a line item in the state budget that addresses the Willow River Dam and Lake Malibu. If you remember, there was a construction breach, it'll be 3 years ago now, that brought a lot of silt down into the lake. And for the last 3 years, the lake has really been degraded because of it. So the line item in the budget will allow us to have funds to, first of all, do the bathymetric survey that's needed to show how much silt and where it is, and then the rest of the funding to begin part of the dredging for Lake Malibu so that we can get it cleaned up. So appreciate your support for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Susie.
You're staying here, right? Good. Got a few questions.
We're not supposed to have comments during when they have their comments.
I was just asking if she was staying.
No, just stay. Anybody else? Hearing none, we'll move on to item 4. Reschedule July Village Board and Finance meeting to June 27th, 2023 due to the 4th of July holiday falling on the first Tuesday of July. Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
Thank you, Brian. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any comments, questions, or input? Hearing none. All in favor of the reschedule to June 27th, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Item 5, 2023-2024 Class A/B alcohol beverage licenses, cigarette licenses, and amusement permits. approval requested.
Stan, I move to approve, a motion to approve the Class A fermented malt beverages and Class A intoxicating liquor license for 40 Boys, Inc., DBA Village Liquor Store, Roger Beavers, agent, with an effective date of July 1, 2023 through June 30, 2024, as recommended by the village clerk. All license approvals are contingent upon any outstanding payment obligations to the village being satisfied.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second that.
Thank you, Tim. Is there any discussion? Questions, comments? Hearing none. All in favor of the motion as presented, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
Stan, I motion to approve Class A fermented malt beverage license and Class A cider-only license for Apple Green Midwest LLC, DBA Freedom Value Number 72, Deanna Bjornstead, agent, and Quick Trip, Inc., DBA Quick Trip 935, Eli Spielman, agent, with an effective date of July 1, 2023 through June 30, 2024, as recommended by the village clerk. All license approvals are contingent upon any outstanding payment obligations to the village being satisfied.
Thank you, Brian. Is there a second?
Second.
Thanks, Dusty. Is there any comments or questions on the motion? Or hearing none. All in favor as the motion as presented, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
Stan, move to approve Class B fermented malt beverages and Class B intoxicating liquor license with an effective date of July 1, 2023 through June 30, 2024 for Malibu Inn, Inc., DBA, Malibu Inn, Peggy Malter, agent, Wisconsin Grill, LLC, DBA Stars Bar, William Suter, agent, Gov's Place, Inc., DBA Gov's Place, Corey Nelson, agent, and LDJT, Inc., DBA Village Inn, Diane Halverson, agent, as recommended by the village clerk. All license approvals are contingent upon any outstanding payment obligations to the village being satisfied.
Thank you, Brian. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Comments, questions?
Stan, I'll abstain from this vote.
Thank you, Kirk. Any other comments? All in favor of the motion as read, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. And down to tobacco, I guess, huh?
Dan, move to approve the over-the-counter tobacco sales licenses for Malibu Inn, Freedom Value Center, and Quick Trip with an effective date of July 1, 2023 through June 30, 2024 as recommended by the village clerk.
Thank you, Brian. Is there a second?
Second.
Thanks, Dusty. Any comments or questions on that? Hearing none, all in favor of the tobacco licenses being approved here, but there's signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
Stan,
Finally.
move to approve the coin-operated amusements license for Stars Bar, The Village Inn, Gov's Place, and Malibu Inn with an effective date of July 1, 2023 through June 30, 2024 as recommended by the village clerk.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thanks, Jen.
Stan, I will-
Comments or questions?
Stan will abstain from the vote.
Thank
Abstain.
you, Kurt. Any other comments? Hearing none, all in favor, signal of saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. And I guess we can move on to number 6. Resolution 2023-04, Department of Natural Resources Review of Compliance Maintenance Annual Report, the CMAR, approval requested.
Move to approve.
Thank you, Brian. Is there a second?
Second.
Is it
Mary.
Thank you. Comments, questions? Hearing none. All in favor of the resolution 2023-04, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Okay, resolution 2023-05, supporting state funding for dredging Lake Malibu, discussion approval requested.
Stan, move to approve resolution number 2023-05.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mary. Is there comments or questions?
So a while ago, we had a guy come in here, I forget his name, lived on Riverside, Jim
Jim Thomas?
Thomas. He was suggesting to us that we should be draining the lake at least at that point in time, and then dealing with, that would help deal with the silt and the fish that have made it up over the dam a few times that we didn't want in the lake, and then the DNR would help us repopulate it. Was that, is that part of this, or, I mean, I don't know who to ask. Can you?
So when the dam was beginning to be removed, we asked the DNR to lower the lake by 3 feet, and they refused. So it's been that way, for the last 3 years. The silt just kept coming. And so when Jim was here, that was before we've started dealing with what we're trying to accomplish today.
Okay.
So we've hired a contractor that has given us a proposal to come in and do what they call the bathymetric survey. We've identified what we feel are the major portions of the lake. We know we can't dredge the whole lake, but the major portions of the lake that are affected the most, and that would be where we would dredge. So the bathymetric survey is done first. They get that report, which hopefully we'll have this year. We're hoping that we can still get that done this fall, provided we have the funding. And then that same contractor has also given us an estimate, a big ballpark, anywhere from $3 to $5 million for dredging in those specific areas. So our point right now is that we get the bathymetric survey so that we get that information that's needed. We dredge with the funding that we'll have and see how far we get, and we may have to go back and see if we can get more funding to complete whatever's left. So the question is, will they lower the lake? Will the DNR provide that permit to lower the lake so that they can dredge? And I'm thinking that that would be part of that process.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions?
I'd just like to make just a comment that this seems important, the water quality in Lake Malibu for our community. It's a important recreational and environmental asset that, as Susie Gilbert has stated, has been very degraded since the silt dump, and it's not a pleasant place to recreate right now. It would be a really important for our community to have that improved.
Thank you. Any other comments? Well, it's a resolution, so all in favor of the resolution supporting state funding for dredging Lake Malibu, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Okay, item 8 is new business from the board or staff, and president's comments. I guess I'll be kind of brief. I wish everyone of the Father's Day, or for Father's Day out there, that they all have a blessed, safe Father's Day and have an enjoyable time. And I just have to make one comment that if anybody watched the city council meeting, the village kind of got thrown under the bus that we don't support the library. Once again, the facts were not very well presented. Well, actually, they weren't. So the big thing was that the library always wanted more money, and the village, due to constraints with budget, the best way that we discovered through our research was to get out of the joint library, which would give them a boost in their rural circulations, and therefore they would get more from the county, and we would get them the increase that they were seeking. That's not how it's been presented, and I'd just like everyone to know that we are very much in favor of a library, but the way it's been presented, or that we weren't included in a lot of the discussions, so I just wanted to get that out there and make it clear. Melissa?
I just have an update in regard to the April 1st storm. So cleanup is still ongoing. I do have, in regards to the brush pile at Summers Landing Park, I have been assured that the grinder's expected to be here Wednesday or Thursday this week. They hope to start grinding on Thursday this week, and it should take a day to a day and a half to complete. And as far as the costs, the chief as emergency management director can give an update on that so far.
So the hat that I wear without this uniform on is the emergency management director. And I can let you know that we have tallied up all of our employees' time that was used for specifically related to the collection and some of the public safety aspect of cutting and brush and debris removal. That also includes in the process that if they used a piece of equipment, there's a FEMA code assigned to it that gives it an hourly dollar amount or a mileage amount, whatever we use for that. So the numbers that I'm giving you may seem larger than what they may actually have been, so I'll try to explain that really quick. But right now, our eligible obligated amount is $165,535.60. Of that amount, the state would pay 70%, or we would be reimbursed for 70%, which is $115,874.92. which really leaves the village obligation at $49,660.68. So that's a village obligation. So like I mentioned, though, in that is costs associated to time for employees and for equipment. So really, if you look at it and you take that as it's just kind of part of our overall, we had to do the work and whatnot. If you take out the contracted work, which is the tree service at $125,600, and the lift station pumping, which is $5,000, that's $130,600. Really, if you take away that state obligated amount that we come in, really dollars and cents wise on the contract side, we're at about a $14,726 that will have to come from the funds from the village, actual dollar for dollar versus kind of an in-kind combination of equipment and our personnel. So it was a decision made by this board at a special board meeting to offer it up to all of our residents. I've heard really good feedback from our residents as the emergency management director and going around the community. And so technically at the end of this, it'll be about a $14,700 increase to the budgetary amount or coming out of the undesignated funds. So yeah, I think it was well worth the dollars that were spent to try to make sure that the community stayed safe and beautiful and those types of things. So that's my report.
Thank you, Chief. Anything else, Melissa?
Nope, that's it.
All righty. And, a day and a half for the looks of that pile of brush out there, that's, I don't know, they're gonna have to have some big equipment to do that, I got a feeling, so, we'll see. And I hope the residents will, stay clear of the area so that, we don't have any issues down there, and hopefully it'll be cleaned up, hopefully by the weekend. Alrighty, number 9, Plan Commission, recommendations, chair update, the chair's not here. Paul, were you in attendance?
I was not there, but I believe they talked about the Pepperfest lot back here, so maybe Tim has some.
Yeah, we did,
information on
thank
that.
you, Paul. We did meet, we just proposed to the planning commission, our proposal, what's gonna happen with the property behind here, and some of the timing and everything. It was well received. We plan on coming back more than once, I can tell you that. Now we're just moving forward on just getting some other things set up to move, with the property itself. But yeah, it was a good meeting, good questions. We got a lot of things answered. We know what direction we're gonna go as far as, what permits we have to pull and so forth and so on, so it's all good.
Thank you. All right, 10 is Personnel and Finance Committee recommendations, claims and approval requested.
Stan, can I move to recommend the board to approve the May 2023 down-to-earth claims of $36,000? And I also move to recommend the board to approve the June 2023 non-recurring claims of $50,631.97.
Thank you, Kirk. Is there a second?
Second.
Thanks, John. Comments, questions?
Melissa, anything out of the ordinary?
No, it just included, our audit is in there, street sweeping's in there. I forgot what else is in there. Hot patching, are the bigger items in there.
Anything else? Okay, let's see, that's spending, so Mary?
Yes.
Dusty?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
Yes.
And yes.
thank you. And let's see, item B is formation of ad hoc hiring committee, approval requested. We're, as folks know, we're needing to hire a couple of, fill a couple of positions on, for staffing, and we would, we're going to set up a ad hoc committee to streamline, hopefully streamline the process. Chief Richards is going to be one of the members. We'll have a member from the Personnel and Finance Committee, and we will also have someone from at large, or somebody that's possibly been on the board or is familiar with the job, so, and has done some human resources type work in their past life. So we haven't, we've got a couple people to approach yet on that, so we can't we won't name anybody. And we had a motion from finance, if somebody would like to make that motion.
Move to approve the formation of ad hoc hiring committee.
Say who's on it, not the person, but the,
With the chief, with one person from the finance committee,
And the approval of the president for,
an at-large.
and at large, and with the president's approval. Or the president will decide who those people are.
okay, any,
I will second that.
Did I make that tough,
Bad.
Susanna? I'm sorry.
Tough verbiage of.
we'll have to go back and
Stan,
take it from
Chief.
from personnel meeting, it was much clearer there.
And Chief made a really good point of kind of putting Stan towards the final decision, just so we're not slowing down this process. So that's kind of why it says Stan to make that decision, just to put them together so we don't have to come to another board meeting.
Thank you, Kirk. Any other comments from anyone else? Questions?
Is there any updates on the process? Have we got applicants for either position? Where are things at?
The deadlines are on the website. The Public Works Director's deadline is tomorrow, and they'll be reviewed Monday, and the deadline for the administrator is next Thursday, and they'll be reviewed the following Monday.
So we'll be able to have a report at the next board meeting.
Should be, yes. Yep.
Anything else? Hearing not, all in favor of the motion to form the ad hoc committee, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Okay, and C is amend 2023 budget for additional costs related to purchase of police squad car. Discussion, possible recommendations.
Stan, I move to authorize the purchase of a 2023 hybrid Ford Explorer Police Interceptor from Hudson Ford for $37,700 with the use of available funds, which is an increase to the 2023 budget of $3,500. Additionally, amend the 2023 budget to reflect this increase.
Thank you, Tim. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Kirk. Discussion.
I'm gonna have the chief lead a chief on an update as far as the vehicle or anything, or
Yeah.
for the rest of the board member.
I guess if there are any questions based on the issue statement, just that there was a change in ownership at Hudson Ford, and previously we had worked in kind of a handshake agreement. We had gotten bids from them, and those numbers were never really on paper. And so when the new ownership came in, our squad actually was delivered, or our vehicle was delivered, and there wasn't a lot of paperwork. So there was some negotiation that occurred last week, because at the time that we ordered the 2023, there wasn't an amount from Ford yet and what those were going to cost. And the conversation was that we would make it work whenever that came in with the previous owner or manager. And so we had some negotiation and basically split the difference with the new ownership. They are going to cover about 2/3 of the difference, and this $3,500 will get us about 1/3 as far as our increase in cost. And then, of course, moving forward with this new company, we'll look at some different procedures on how we move forward.
Any other questions for the chief?
Thank you.
Hearing none, thank you, sir. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none. Let's see, added cost. Tim?
Yes.
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 Yes?
Yes.
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 Thank you. Okay, item 11 is Public Works Committee recommendations, chair update. Brian, you got anything?
We did not meet.
Okay. Item 12 is Public Safety Committee recommendations. Tim?
We met, but we have nothing to carry forward.
Thank you. 13 is Public Welfare Committee. Kirk?
We did not meet.
Is not me. See, we go on this later. Okay. Park Board update, how about that one?
We did meet. The new pickleball court has its net there. We do know the pickleball court wasn't made quite to the right form of what they need, so we're trying to, I'm working with kind of Matt to see what we could put down to make it a little more safe. And then this month, we are having our first movie in the park, Wednesday, June 28th. That'll be right behind us. There'll be information on the website and kind of word of mouth. So if you want to bring your kids out, the movie is Sandlot. Usually starts when sun is coming down.
Thank you, Kirk. Nothing else?
Great choice.
I like that movie.
Great choice.
Perfect time of the season for that. All righty. Let's see, that brings us to item 15, which on the agenda is convene into closed session. First, we have several things. The first one is the board may convene into closed session pursuant to statute 19.85, parent 1, parent lowercase c, for considering employment, promotion, compensation, performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility with respect to public works. Item B is, I can read them all. and then
Yep,
we can
yep,
vote, right?
you'll need a motion for them.
What's that,
You'll need a motion for them,
for each one?
yeah.
Well, we might as well get a motion, or is there a motion for the first one?
Move to approve.
Thank you, Brian. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Kirk. All in favor of moving into closed session for the Public Works employee, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Okay, item B, board may convene into closed session pursuant to statute 19.85, parent 1, parent lowercase e, to deliberate or negotiate the purchase of public properties, invest in public funds, or conducting other specified public business whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session with respect to sewer interceptor agreements, ad hoc committee updates. Is there a motion?
Move to-
Second.
Brian and Kirk, any comments or questions? All in favor of going into closed session for the second one, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you. And C is board may convene in closed session pursuant to Wisconsin statute 19.85, parent 1, parent lowercase g, for the purpose of conferring with legal counsel for the Village of North Hudson, who is rendering oral written advice concerning strategy to be adopted by the board with respect to litigation in which it is or likely to become involved with respect to remaining EMS funds held by the city of Hudson.
Move to approve.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Kirk. Any discussion? All in favor of that item, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. With 3 items there, it's likely that we won't be back very quickly.
Thank you, dear.
You're welcome.
For your help. Yep, and once it's